Okay, so nature is a fair judge. Yeah, nature is always fair. And when I say nature is always fair, it's not that I'm trying to praise nature because maybe nature favors me a lot, or maybe nature rides along with me. No. Actually, let me say around 80% of my judgments or my decisions are always disapproved by nature. As in, when I take my time and I dig deep into something, or maybe I study something very well, I take my right time and with patience and study something and think, and then I think I've come up with the most perfect result, or the most the best conclusion. Nature disapproves me, and I've said 80% of the decisions I make, thinking that I've made the best decision or the most perfect decision, 80% nature proves me otherwise. So when I say nature is fair, is a fair judge, don't take it as if I'm praising nature because nature favors me. No, nature does not favor me. In fact, if people were to curse nature, I'm the first person who will be frontlining the group cursing nature, because nature does not favor me in many circumstances. So even though nature does not favor me, but the truth must be told. So if I decide to tell the truth, if I don't decide to lie on something that favors me, the truth is that nature is always a very fair judge, and nature always makes fair decisions. So only that us human beings, we make our judgments depending on what we see at face value, what you see on your face. You make your judgment depending on what we see on face value. But nature makes decision or makes judgments depending on what is there currently, or at what you see, and what is hidden behind the curtains. So when nature makes a decision, don't think nature, even you might think that nature is unfair, but nature will be unfair to you because you make your decisions depending on only what you see on face value. But nature makes decision depending on what is there on face value and what is hidden behind the curtains, because nature knows everything. So nature is the perfect judge. So even if you live in denial, at one time you'll have to agree with that. You can deny it for now, but with time an egg will walk. With time an egg will walk. So with time you will agree that nature is a fair judge. So as a young child, my father used to tell me that in this world, people are equal. That was when I was around 10 years. As a child, I didn't understand that. You know, I'm somebody that you don't just tell me something without supporting document, and you expect me to believe that or to follow that. I don't do that. And that is me since I was young. It's not that after. Since I was young, what you are telling me, you have to support it with facts, or you have to must have supporting documents with it so that to make me agree with it or believe in it. So when my father used to tell me that in this world people are equal, I only gave him, I could not contradict him physically because he's my dad. And they say, whatever an old man can see lying in a quarry, a young man cannot see standing on top of Mount Everest. So I just give him that percentage of benefit of doubt of that he's an elderly man, but I still did not take that in so much. It didn't sink into me, because I told you, in order for me to allow something to sink deep into me, first of all, it must have supporting documents, and I must also put it to my, if you tell me something, you can tell me something, they say it enters through this ear and goes out through this ear. So for me to allow something to sink deep into me, I must first of all take it, and you must give it to me or sell it to me with, you must have supporting facts why this thing is this way. And then after giving it to me, I must again take it and then dissect it afresh on my own and dig deep into it, then make my own conclusion now privately. Is when now I let it, if I agree with it now, is when now I let it sink into me. So this one of my dad, I had never let it sink because I didn't understand how somebody living in Karen, how somebody living in Karen can be equal to somebody, a fisherman fishing in Lake Victoria, somewhere down in Wagusu. See, how can you say these people are equal? So this thing, it didn't go well with me because I could not understand it. So that was when I was around 10 years ago. So I just left it hanging, though I was digesting it slowly by slowly. And I have a friend of mine, I have a very good friend of mine. I gave him a street name. All my friends, I have nicknames for all my friends. I like giving people nicknames. So I have a very good friend of mine. I gave him a street name. I call him Guru Think Tank. GURU Think Tank. So Guru Think Tank is a very wise man, and he's a very good friend of mine. So we meet with him at least once in a week, mostly on weekends. We meet with him, we sit with him, we discuss, we talk, we make stories, and we just talk the general things with him. But he's a very, very wise man. So Guru Think Tank, I once shared this with Guru Think Tank. And as a wise man, Guru Think Tank, whenever I share something that is disturbing me with him, I always come out with a solution. Because he's a think tank, the way I told you, he's a Guru Think Tank, according to how I named him. So he's the real Guru Think Tank, as I named him. But on this one, we didn't reach a conclusion. So I'm here to again call him on another session so that we can finish this one, because on this one we didn't reach a conclusion. But then, according to me, I'm reaching a point where I'm coming to agree with what my dad said, that in this world, everybody is equal. I've told you, I didn't agree with my dad, but I didn't dispute orally, but inwardly I didn't agree with him, but I didn't dispute him orally. I just remained silent. That was when I was 10 years old. So, because I was wondering, how can somebody, let's say somebody living in, Nyali in Mombasa, and you see that man that acted that film, The Gods Must Be Crazy, that hunter. So let's take him literally the way he was living in that movie. So how can you tell me that somebody like that hunter is and somebody living in Nyeri or somebody living in Karen, these people are equal? That thing did not make sense to me. So until now, I was 10 years when I was told that thing. Until now, I'm over 35 years. That is over 25 years. I've been digesting that thing for over 25 years. And now is when I'm coming to a conclusion that this thing was actually right. My dad was actually right. Okay. I'm not a fan of arguments. I don't like arguments. I like people who, if you have maybe if you want to contradict something, you must have a supporting point of your contradiction. You don't just dispute something with baseless arguments. No, if you want to dispute something, just come with a point and say this is not this way because of this, and that. I will be very happy, and I really like such people who contradict me with facts. I like that. But if you just come with heckling, I don't like hecklers, and I don't even like arguments in the first place. I like discussions. We discuss, but arguments, I don't like arguments. So, according to me right now, 25 years down the line, I've been digesting this thing, and it's now making sense to me. Now, this is according to me. Nature is a very fair balance, and there is a way in which nature balances us, human beings. So when you write a fraction, there is a numerator, then there is a denominator, then if you simplify this fraction, you get a quotient. So, for lack of a better word, let me use fortunes or favors. So let's take the numerator to be favors or fortunes. Then the denominator to be misfortunes. Yeah. So I want to give you a formula. I'm just trying to simplify the idea. What I have in my head, I'm trying to put it into words so that I can transfer it from my head into your ears through words. This is what I'm trying to do here. So I'm trying to put it in a layman's way so that in a way that you can understand it. You can understand it, you can figure out roughly what is in my head. So this is, if you take a fraction, if you take the numerator to be the favors that you have in life, then the denominator to be the misfortunes that befall you. So in life, I'm trying to explain to you how everyone is equal. So in life, if your numerator is 6, your denominator will be 3. If your numerator is 50, your denominator will be 25. I said, let's take your numerators to be the fortunes or the good things that you have in life, and then the denominator to be misfortunes or the bad things that befall you in life. So in life, if your numerator is 900, your denominator will be 450. If your numerator is 6,000, your denominator will be 3,000. All these fractions I've mentioned, the quotient is equal to 2. All of them are equal to 2. And that is what human beings are, all of us. All of us are equal to 2. You might not agree with me, but I've told you, it has taken me 25 years to come to this conclusion that I'm now giving you here. So there will be no problem if you disagree with me. It might even take you 100 years, because I'm telling you that my dad told me this thing when I was 10 years old. And now I'm over 35 years old, is when I'm beginning to understand whatever my dad was saying, and I'm now agreeing that what he was saying 10 years ago, well, when I was 10 years old, is now when I'm really agreeing that my dad was saying the truth. So if you disagree with me, I will understand you, because me too, I disagreed with my father, and it took me 25 years to now. Is when I'm now beginning to understand. It's not that I've understood it. I'm beginning to understand what my dad meant, and I'm now beginning to agree that it is true. So in this life, nature balances everyone, and nature is a fair judge. So if nature gives you a denominator of 700, a numerator of 700, your denominator will be 350. And you have no say on that, and you have no control over that. Nature will do that, and you have your opinion is not even needed there. That's what nature does alone. So you either agree with it or you don't agree with it. It will be that way. So if your numerator will be 60, your denominator will be 30. All of us human beings in the world, our quotient is 2. I always tell you that whatever I say here is not scientifically proven. These are my wild imaginations. So when I say something here, the best thing is to take, if you can take it in, then go and dig deep into it and do your own research. Then if you find it otherwise, come and explain. That is what is a healthy coexistence. That is a healthy coexistence. When I say something, if you don't agree, or if you agree, go and take it and go and do your own research. And then if you get maybe a different finding, come back. Then we can now start discuss that again. That is a healthy interaction. But according to me, that is how nature balances everybody, and that is how my father's word that in this world everyone is equal, that is what it means. All these fractions I've mentioned, the quotient is equal to 2. So everybody in the world is equal to that 2. So this one we discussed, this one with my friend who think tank, but we didn't reach a conclusion. You know, Guru Think Tank is a very. One day I'll bring him to this session so that he can share some discussions here with them. But it's a very good. The good thing with them, I learned so many things from this my friend Guru Think Tank. I learned so many things. In fact, there's something, you know, me when I discuss something, Guru Think Tank told me that there is a group of people that their minds are rigid. They believe on something, and what they believe on, they don't want to listen to any other thing. Whatever they believed in is what they know is right, and they're not open to receive other people's opinions or other people's information. So, you know, me, I have a problem with such people. If I get somebody that is not open-minded, then I tend to withdraw from such discussions. When we have discussions with such people, I always, if I realize that this person is that rigid or that, and then some people are just illiterate. There are others that are just illiterate, and I don't want to use a very harsh word, but you can guess the other word I could have used here. I don't want to use that harsh word. So some people, when I realize that you are such a person, I always just withdraw from that conversation. But my friend Guru Think Tank never withdraws from a conversation, and that is one thing that I'm yet to learn from my friend Guru Think Tank. However illiterate or however thick in the head or however much the person is not, the second part is not understanding, Guru Think Tank never withdraws from a talk. And Guru Think Tank will continue this conversation with a sober mind, and he never quarrels with somebody, and he will, you know, such people, they don't even give you time to say your answer. They always want to talk without giving you time. Guru Think Tank, that is no problem. Guru Think Tank, me, I always withdraw from such talks, but Guru Think Tank, even if you don't want him to talk, no problem. He will ride along with you, whatever the kind of person you are. Guru Think Tank will find a way to ride along with you, and they will ride along till the end, and at the end of the session, it always ends up that Guru Think Tank always comes out as the winner. Of course, we are not always competing, but you know, when you are presenting your points, then somebody does not give you time to say what you are saying. He insists on what he's saying and he's not giving you time. Then me, I will withdraw from such conversations. Then Guru Think Tank will maintain. He will continue. And even if you give Guru Think Tank even 10 seconds to say 3 words, he will pin you down with those 3 words. So I always say that learning is a continuous process. There are a lot of things that I'm yet to learn from this, my friend Guru Think Tank, and that is why I always like him close to me. I always keep him as a good friend, because I'm yet to learn this patience that he has with such people. How does he get along to be very patient with such people and ride along, and at the end of it, it ends up that they are all listening now to him. It ends up that everyone, even the ones that was so rigid, are now listening to him. So I'm still taking notes from Guru Think Tank. I'm still learning so many things from my friend Guru Think Tank. Otherwise, I've said nature is a fair judge. Nature will make sure if your denominator, if your numerator is 500, your denominator will be 250, and you have no control over that. So why this thing is very difficult to understand? Because you look at on social media, when you go on social media, when they flaunt, when they show off on social media, they will only show you the numerators. On social media, generally in life, outside on the streets, you will only see, they will show you only the numerators. They will be hiding the denominators. So that is why it's very difficult to understand if I tell you that everybody is equal on this earth. And that is why it has taken me over 25 years, to come to this conclusion that everyone is equal. And that is why I know you will not agree with me. And it will even take you 40 years to agree, to now find out that this thing was true. Because when they flaunt, they will not flaunt the denominators. They will only flaunt the numerators. When they show you around on the streets, they will show you the numerators, but the denominators they will hide. So that is why it will be very difficult for a layman to understand that in this world, people are equal. So, in a nutshell, I've said it. The ball is in the court. The whistle is blown. Now, take up the ball, play, score, come back with the result, give us the result. If it is contrary, then with points, we shall understand, we shall learn together, and it shall continue. Thank you, and have a good day. Be blessed.